Think back to the last time you were most confident. You said what was on your mind. If any single person lied, you called it out immediately. You didn't take shit. If a joke wasn't funny, you didn't laugh. You didn't go, hee 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 hee. No, you were genuine as possible. You were the most truthful person on the table. In fact, your confidence was way out of proportion to your means. All of a sudden, you wake up one day and you're a relic of your previous self. You now conform. You think about consequences before you voice out an opinion. You wait for others to move before you move. You cheat your uniqueness. You cheat your personal ideology. You move with the crowd. In fact, you used to try being alone. Now you seek out company. If you've been following this channel for a long enough time frame, I've used this analogy incessantly. Can two work together except they be agreed? They can't. Seeking out company, which is bad company by the way, means you have to conform to their beliefs and values for friendship, for any kind of relationship to exist. The parties involved have to be congenial, they have to be like minded. Unfortunately, generalization is how the world functions. If I strike a lion, it might bite my hand. In general, it might be in a nice mood, but I'm not willing to find out. In general. So when I say things like you are seeking out bad company, it's not because you deliberately seek them out. Unfortunately, an overwhelming majority of friends are bad. Now, bad doesn't necessarily connote to vices or things that cause harm to other people, but bad from a negative perspective as touching your goal. Bad because they don't contribute anything positive to where you are headed. The answer to your question, the sudden change between confidence and unconfident and conformity and bad and every single trash you can conceive is failure. Failure. As children, we start our life with great exuberance, and this naturally carries on into the first foray of society. As we grow older, the failures and rebuffs begin to create boundaries which get firmer with time. Coming to accept less of the world, we begin to expect less of every single person. You now have to bow, apologize for even the simplest of requests. The solution to such shrinking horizon is to end the opposite direction, downplay the limitations, ignore the failures. The reason you are unconfident is because you believed in a goal, you were striving towards something, you were building a business, and as a result of the immaterialization of that business, it destroyed your confidence completely because the whole purpose of the contingency of your confidence was that business, was that entrepreneurship space, was that goal you were working towards. And after years of hard work and dedication, there is nothing, especially in the material form, the likes of vacation in Spain or handbag that proves the parties, the friends you ignored, the consecration demands, the hard work, the sacrifice was worth it. If it's you are just diagnosed, you notice something very interesting. You find yourself returning back to previous addictions you once gave up. It's totally understandable. It appears as though life cheated you. I'm giving up A, B, C, D, and then the list comes in order to attain success. I've given up all of this and you didn't give me success. It's only natural for me to revert back to the initial patterns. At least I know I'm destroying my life as opposed to not be gratified immediately and not retain success and not get success. But failure is a very tricky emotion because nothing is good or bad except thinking makes it so. The things that happen to us doesn't cause us pain, but the meaning we ascribe to it. For instance, at the infancy of my career, I truly believed, and I still believe, I am the best man on the planet, and there's no single lady who would be able to resist my wits and charms. On this fateful day, I went to convert my teller to receipt. This was way back in college. The lady before me, obviously giving me signs and signals by being the respondent of the clerk. I would speak to the clerk, she would respond. I would speak to the clerk, she would respond. Oh, go here for your account number. This is where you're supposed to pay. So I'll ask questions or I'll ask questions. She would be the respondent in order to get my attention. Obviously, I ignored her. But in the evening, about to get my hair cut, there was this lady I saw. Started to approach her. Hello, how are you? Asked for her name. She half responds. Give me your number. Why? Instantly in that moment, I felt very awkward because this was in the midst of people and every single person was watching to know the reaction she gives this handsome, dashing young man. The response was negative. I remember leaving that position, thinking about it, trying to use that one encounter to evaluate my whole sexual value, which is not the case, forgetting prior that someone was hitting on you. We as humans, let me not say we as humans, you as humans, your brain has been trained to thrive on negativity. If something good happens to you, you tell three people. If something bad happens, every single person knows about it, especially when it's a bad experience with products, which is why I heavily advise a word of mouth can be positive and negative. Positive, it falls to the same principle I initially highlighted. Negative, it works against you overwhelmingly. So if someone has or experienced negative encounter with your product, every single person is going to hear about it. How was this product? Yeah, I enjoyed using it. Use it if you want. Conversely, how was this product? It's terrible. Don't use it. And then they take 3, 4, 5 minutes of their time explaining ardently why you shouldn't use the product. This is not a business discourse. Let's move to the initial discourse of today. Failure. Failure is the number one killer of confidence. But if you're in that rare 1%, regardless of what life throws at you, persisting, going forward, I guarantee you the spoils would naturally accrue to those kind of individuals. Majority of you are familiar with the YouTube story. Posted 400 and something videos with little to no engagement. When I mean little, I'm not kidding. I mean little to no engagement. Some of you might post a video, get 100 views or something, At least there are 5 people in the comment section hollering cheers. We are going to be with you. Keep going, bro. I watched this. It was very educative, very informative. That was not the case with me. No views. Imagine posting a video. You've done your research, you were articulate and as intelligent. You highlighted the point from a very unique perspective. And after spending 30 minutes of your time ranting and putting all sorts of emotions into this discourse, you get 0 views or 1 view. It was terrible. At a point, I thought I was cursed. I thought I was cursed because a random person can upload a video, he would get 10 views, 20 views, but I would upload a video and get no views. It blew my mind, absolutely. What was the problem? Was YouTube shadow banning me? But I wasn't speaking on anything negative. So why was this happening? Why was this happening? It was terrible, but I kept persisting, regardless of whether I felt like it or not. There are days when I would get up, look at the results. It was not encouraging. At least if you get 20 to 30 views and people in the comment section actually texting and you see you're giving value to audience, there's one person who's watching. As a consequence, his life, his mind is being transformed, benevolent enough to drop a comment. That's something that acts as an encouragement. Conversely, you get nothing, no engagement, no comment, nothing. I created 400 and something videos, 480 something videos before I got engagement. So success is a proof of persistence, determination, and every single thing, above all, sacrifice and belief. Ignore the failures, go back, truly believe in yourself, and you'll be fine. As always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.